Yo, YouTube, what is up? Welcome to the Radar for Rastin Studios.
What up, Mom?
Guys, TLC 2020, we got a review and reaction to every match on the show. An overall, surprisingly solid pay-per-view. I didn't think it was going to come out as good as it did. Some things were hit or miss. We had some really wild stuff go on for the main event, as you already know.
A lot of nonsense.
So much stuff going on in this pay-per-view. The last final pay-per-view of the year before 2020. Now we're officially on the road to WrestleMania with Royal Rumble coming up. So we have a lot to get into and rate all these matches from top to bottom, first to last. So let's get into it. Before we do it, I remind you guys to drop a like on this video and previous videos, hit the subscribe button if you're watching, and subscribe to the channel, notification bells. You guys alert when new videos drop. Follow me on social media, Instagram, Twitter, Twitch, TikTok, all the same handles. Follow me on all platforms. Links in the description section below. You already know. Amazon, highspots.com, Fight TV, Honor Club. Sign up, use the link, kicks back to the channel. Appreciate you guys for supporting the channel. Without further ado, let's get right into it. Our review and reaction to TLC 2020. And TLC 2020 started off with an 8-man tag match. Why they had this match, I don't really know, but it was Big E, Otis, Chad Gable, and Daniel Bryan, who we haven't seen in a few weeks, going to take it on King Corbin, who I guess is no longer feuding with Dominic Mysterio. I don't know.
Why wasn't he in that match?
That's what I'm saying. Why wasn't he in that match? We had King Corbin, Cesaro, Shinsuke Nakamura, and Sami Zayn. So all kind of have issues except King Corbin. Maybe he's feuding with Daniel Bryan now. I don't know. We'll see what happens. But
well, he feuds with everybody next to him, so
that is true. So he might feud with Daniel Bryan. He might feud with Big E. He might feud with his own teammates. Yeah. The match overall was fine. We're gonna give this match a C+ out of the gate. Going with letter grades for this video, so we're gonna C+ out of the gate. But you know, he hit the hit the big ending for the win. Big E did pin Sami Zayn, so that is all there is to say about that. An 8-man tag team can be kind of wild sometimes, but they did a pretty good job of keeping this one kind of contained for the most part, and keeping it in a solid way, rather than going all frantic and all over the place and being real bloated matches. But yeah, I don't know what they're gonna do with all these guys. We obviously know Sammy and Big E's the feud coming out of this for the Intercontinental Championship. Daniel Bryan, I guess, is part-time at this moment, and maybe he'll disappear. Maybe he'll feud with King Corbin. Nakamura and Cesaro are feuding with Otis and Chad Gable right now, but I don't know what's gonna go on with that going forward. But for the match itself, it was a C+. Big E and company get the win.
Yeah, random match. I get the whole they were just doing different feuds kind of all mixed up in one big old thing. I mean, it was all right. The match was okay. Daniel Bryan's position in the company right now is very strange. He just kind of shows up randomly and then disappears and shows up. Maybe it's the COVID stuff. I have no idea, but it's very random. And then we're just gonna. This is basically just to pinpoint more towards Big E and Sammy, kind of elevate that feud. That's kind of what this whole thing was service for. So it did what it needed to do, I guess, which just to put them on a higher pedestal and moving forward with that rivalry. But yeah, it was a pre-show match. But what are you gonna do?
Yeah, so what are you gonna do? You can't ask for much more from a pre-show. But let's get to the next match. It's the WWE Championship TLC match. The champion Drew McIntyre going against the challenger AJ Styles. Match had a lot going on. There's a lot going on in this match. A lot of people involved in this match. We would see Omos get involved. We would see Miz come out in this matchup, cash in Money in the Bank unsuccessfully, even with the help of John Morrison. AJ Styles would end up blaming Miz for this, because Drew McIntyre at the end will climb the ladder and get the win here and retain his championship. Big spots though. They had a gimmicky chair that broke as soon as they hit John Morrison hit almost in the back with it. It was pretty funny. Almost no sold it, and the chair comically exploded. Big spot here when Drew McIntyre would toss AJ out of the ring through a table on the outside. That was the biggest spot of the match. It was pretty brutal. We had the Miz obviously cash in, get involved, but in the end, the Miz was kind of one of the more forgettable Money in the Bank briefcase holders.
I mean, not as bad as Damien Sandow, but
not as bad as Damien Sandow. He's probably the worst one of them all. But going from Otis to Miz, I think it's about time WWE goes away from Money in the Bank for a little bit. Yeah, and because it feels less and less important each time, less and less surprising, because it's already saturated. You're used to it. It is what it is. The match itself, we're gonna give this one a B+ for the WWE Championship match, with McIntyre claiming the victory and staying on top. But it was a war with AJ Styles. We knew it was gonna be a solid match because AJ Styles is in the ring. AJ Styles is almost incapable of having a bad match, so we all knew that was going to be solid from the start. But with all that going on, almost actually doing something in the match, getting physical for once was cool. He carried Miz like a baby at one point, tossed him over the ring, over the ropes. Morrison was in there. Well, I'm just waiting to see Morrison and Miz break up eventually, and I would like to see them in more important roles and more serious roles and taken more seriously and have some type of legitimacy to them. But in the end, Drew McIntyre still WWE champion.
Yeah, this match, it was good. I didn't enjoy the ending where the Miz came in. He felt like dumb and like stupid and just like didn't really think this one out. Like, why wouldn't you just wait till like the match is over? And the guy was, you know, like that's the smartest way. I know they probably want to change it because we've seen it before as the original way Edge won it. I get that, but that makes the most sense. What's the point of coming in midway through the match and just like?
I mean, that's the way mostly like all the people that in the beginning of the beginning stages of Money in the Bank won their championships.
Like if a heel has it, that's the way he should do it. If it's a babyface, I mean, it's definitely different. You're going to be more of a babyface with it. But you got an open spot for him to come in and just be a little smarter with it. It was kind of dumb. I mean, he never felt important in the match. You never felt like, oh my god, he's cashing it in. He could actually win this thing. Like, you know, there was an excitement to it that this didn't really pull that off. It sucked. It sucked for me. It just sucked. It sucked the life out of the match for me. And then I was like, come on. And then him carrying around like a baby, being thrown on the tables. He was just like the joke of the match. And I didn't think it needed that because it had AJ and Drew, and it kind of just should have been that if that's where you were gonna go. With it anyway, where Miz wasn't even getting the title, so what the hell was the point? It just, I don't know, it was kind of a miss for me. Which kind of, the match was still solid, really, really good match, like a good match between Drew and AJ, but that ending just
Yeah, the ending is kind of rough. I mean, the cash in is for a heel. It doesn't make no sense to just make it a triple threat match, right? Unless you do it like Seth Rollins did it in WrestleMania 31, but that's a different story. Just because the magnitude of that match, this is a pay-per-view, regular pay-per-view match. Normally a heel would cash in after the fact. And why does the cash-in process take so damn long to begin with? The referee has to spill out a million things before they ring that bell and make it official, but whatever. Drew McIntyre is still your WWE champion. B+ for that match.
Do away with it. Definitely, so it's time to maybe put away for a couple of years and then come back to, because right now it just feels.
Get rid of the pay-per-view. Get rid of the Money in the Bank pay-per-view. Push the match back. Leave it off, for a few years and bring it back.
It's just run of the mill at this point. Just like doesn't mean nothing. It's like the IC belt basically.
Pretty much, yeah. Next thing on the match, we had the Sasha Banks Carmella match. Sasha for the SmackDown Women's Champion. Sasha, your champion. This match out of the gate, we give this one a B. B- for this match. And I thought Carmella did a really good job kind of showing her in-ring skill off, because a lot of people say that she's terrible in the ring, she's not good, she shouldn't be in the spot, but I think she proved herself to be ready for the spot. But it's tough to have this match going after all the stuff we saw in the TLC match before it. It's tough for this match to come out and just be a regular wrestling match. Very true. But it came off good. It worked well. Both did well in the matchup. You had Reginald. He has a name now. Carmella's like Maitre D coming out and trying to help. Help, and then it didn't really work out for her because she ended up getting caught in the bank statement eventually, and Sasha was able to make her tap out for the win. So Sasha's still your SmackDown champion, but Mella proved that she's ready for the spot, ready to come back to that spot after being out for so much long time, and people saying that she's not good in the ring and stuff like that. But the Reginald thing, I don't really think she needs it. The interference and stuff like that, but this match, I don't think this feud is over by any stretch of the imagination. I think it will continue. I could even see Carmella herself winning the Women's Royal Rumble to get a shot at Sasha or whoever the SmackDown champion is at WrestleMania. I mean, I think the favorite right now probably is Alexa Bliss or Bianca Belair to win the Women's Royal Rumble, but I could see Carmella doing it after the showing that she put on here and in the feud, the work she's done, especially on the mic as well in this feud.
Yeah, she did a great job. She's done a great job. She's come back. Her promo on Friday Night SmackDown was awesome. I enjoyed the ring. The match was very good. It was like another good match on the show. Yeah. I think it did a good job of telling the story. I didn't mind the sommelier dude just coming in and helping her out, just adding a different tool, adding more heelish things to get in there. She's doing a great job of being a heel, so I thought it worked out during the match. But yeah, I would like to see this feud keep going. I think Mella earned that just because of her promo work and the match itself. And I mean, both girls did a great job, but I just think Mella kind of deserves get this feud, keep it going. And there's not anybody else on SmackDown really that's going to be viable against Sasha right now. I mean, you don't want to go back to Bayley and Bianca are kind of in their thing, so you want to keep that going. And then let's keep Mela and Sasha going. Why not?
Yeah, it'd be awesome. Just keep going, let it keep rolling. And that was pretty much the end of that. The next thing on the show was the New Day going against the Hurt Business for the Raw Tag Team Champions. It's a really good match here. I'm gonna give this one a B minus. So it was a good match for both teams. But the finish is the biggest part about this match because your new Raw Tag Team Champions are the Hurt Business, Cedric Alexander and Shelton Benjamin. Cedric Alexander would tag himself in and hit the lumbar check on Kofi Kingston. So he's still trying to take the spotlight a lot, like from Shelton for some reason. So they're still running with that. But I don't know if that's going to end up like hurting the team in the end. But I think it's good. Now you have another belt to go along with the collection that the Hurt Business has. They're only missing one, and that's the World Heavyweight Championship, which I don't think they're going to win that one. But having the U.S. and the Raw Tag Team Championships, good for them. Continue to legitimize them as a legitimate tag team. New Day better chasing them than defending against them. They've been champions so many times. New Day, maybe they go away for a little bit. Not go away because Xavier just came back.
Away.
They're already away. But since they're on their own without Big E and the trio, let's see how they do. Them chase and maybe build up more tag teams. Right now, their role should be to help out other tag teams in the division and legitimize more tag teams in order to make the division better as a whole. But in the end, new Raw Tag Team Champions, I think it was the right move, right thing to have done. In the end, is to have them win the Raw Tag Team Champions. Hurt Business, your new tag team champions.
Yeah, good match, solid work from everybody involved. I thought Cedric Alexander kind of being the heel in his own tag team was like I like it. It's a smart move. You add that little extra sneaky door to bring. It's kind of where Hangman Page was with the Elite, where he part of the team, was he not part of the team? This isn't that big of a level, but it's definitely there, and you can play this storyline in the background going forward. I think the Hurt Business was an intelligent move to make them the tag team champs, keep the Hurt Business strong, powerful. They have majority of the belts on Raw. I mean, they're only missing the championship. Can they get a new member? Maybe win the belt? Who knows? Who knows? But definitely, I like the match. Like you said, New Day's better working from underneath right now. These guys can be heel champs. I'm not gonna say the tag team division is ever gonna come back because it's probably not, and this will probably not work because the tag team division none. This hasn't worked in years.
Yeah.
But it's definitely exciting. We called this. We wanted this. So let's see what they do with it. Cedric, they're building a star here. That's what you build a group for, to build stars. And Cedric is, he's shining. He's definitely shining.
Yeah, he definitely is. Maybe we'll get Keith Lee turning heel and then joining Hurt Business to win WWE Championship, and that's how they get all the belts. That's a pipe dream right there. We could see that happening. Let's see what happens. But your new tag team champions, the Hurt Business, Cedric Alexander and Shelton Benjamin. Yeah. Next match on the show is Women's Tag Team Championships. Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler going against Asuka and a mystery partner after Lana was taken out. And you were correct in predicting that Charlotte Flair will be her partner, and it was Charlotte Flair making her comeback to the company. As soon as she came out, we knew the match was over. They were going to win. And that's what happened. She hit natural selection and was able to get the win. Charlotte for her team. Asuka now double champ. She has the Raw Women's Championship and a tag team. And now Charlotte adds the last and final belt she needed to her collection, was the tag team belt. So now she's a first-time tag team champion. Yeah, now she has pretty much every title she could possibly have won in WWE. So shout out to Charlotte on that big achievement. The match itself, I thought it was okay. I'm gonna give it a C plus. I didn't think it was all that great. I just felt like the moment didn't feel like it was there when Charlotte showed up. I don't know if it was the way it was shot, camera work wise, but it just didn't feel like a big moment. Obviously, no crowd hurts it, but it just didn't feel like the moment it should have felt. But maybe it was camera work or just the fact that there's no fans there. But overall, the match was what it was. It was a pretty solid match. C plus for us from this match. But new women's tag team champions, Asuka and Charlotte Flair, returning.
Well, I'm gonna tell you what the reason was. The reason was this feud really no one really cared about. True, it was an important feud. It didn't mean anything for her really coming back. Second, she hasn't been gone that long. She's always been gone for the summer, and it's not like she's coming back to save the day or start this cool feud with anyone. No one really cared about this entire thing going on for the last few weeks anyway. So it never meant anything. If she was gone longer and maybe she came back in a crazy way, and of course the crowd always kills it. I think it would have been better with a crowd, but it didn't mean much because it's the women's tag team belts, and the feud was weak.
Yeah.
But definitely the weakest match. It was kind of like the filler match. If this was the Divas division of 10 years ago, 7 years ago, this would have been where you got your popcorn and then came back to your seat after it was over. That's kind of what it felt like at the end, which sucks because you have Charlotte Flair there. But Asuka and Charlotte, that's a hell of a team. there's not really anybody that can beat it on paper unless like Becky Lynch comes back with Bailey or Sasha.
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
That's the only crew that's going to be
about
able
a
to stop
star
this
studded
team.
as a tag team you could probably get.
Yeah, like I mean, who else is going to beat these girls? These girls are like, come on, they're two of the best. Let's be serious.
Yeah, it's like the 2-woman power trip there, that team. But new tag team champions, Asuka and Charlotte Flair. Next match on the show was the TLC Universal Championship match. The champion Roman Reigns going against Kevin Owens. Right out the gate, giving this match an A. This was a tremendous. I thought it was a tremendous match just because it creates a more sympathetic babyface in Kevin Owens going against all the odds. He kept coming back for more, even with all the interference from Jey Uso, who is like the ride or die of the family, because that guy was like willing to do whatever he had to do to try to help Roman win this match. Roman just it took a beating, but gave out just as good as one. It's it's basically all about making Kevin Owens a legitimate. He's already legitimate, but like a sympathetic babyface people can get behind, and making Jey as hated as you possibly can. Because nobody's going to hate Roman in the way he is right now, because everybody's happy that Roman is the way he is. It's all about getting Jey the heat, keeping Roman as the dominant monster heel champion, and making Kevin Owens the sympathetic babyface that you cheer and are hoping to win. And the second he gets as close as he did to that belt, you're getting out of your seat hoping that he's going to grab it and take it down. So mission accomplished on all fronts there. A match. Roman Reigns still your Universal Champion, pretty much all thanks to Jey Uso. Let's see if he gives him enough credit this time. But I thought it was an awesome match.
I mean, Jey was the MVP here. He did a lot of the work. He got his ankle tore up by taking a chair shot to it. Then he was brought to the back, came back limping, came back up his cousin out. So Roman needs to help him out. Roman needs to, I think he's earned his spot. Let's be honest.
Yeah, I think he has.
Did a lot here. So, but they did a great job. I'm only going to critique the fact that nobody wants to see Roman lose the belt.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm like, no, Kevin, don't take that. And like, where's Jey at? That's how I felt the entire time, because that's kind of like, that's what I was seeing. But definitely good match. Kevin Owens is growing more. He's getting back. How should I word this? I should probably word this the way that like he's awesome as a heel and he's awesome as a sarcastic asshole. So he's never been like the babyface. This was a sympathetic babyface, and he was coming at, if it felt that way, they did a good job of getting this new babyface Kevin Owens more over. Just not off his name, but off of his character and like where storylines are going. And I would like to see him either in the Rumble to win it against Roman in WrestleMania. I don't know. We'll see, but I wouldn't mind it because this match was that fun, and he did a great job. He deserves it.
Yeah, he does deserve it. Tremendous job from all three guys involved. Still waiting on Jimmy. I want to see Jimmy what he does. That's the big thing. I'm waiting to see what he does. Yeah.
Right now, it's like I don't think you need him. I think right now you just do with Jey. Maybe something has to come up where they need him, or if there's like some shock thing where it looks like maybe at the Rumble it looks like Roman's gonna lose a match or whatever the case may be. Then he comes in and helps out. But right now, I just think I like the one cousin who's just being doing everything to be part of the family and be left in. And he was almost kicked out, and now he's doing anything to be stay in the family.
Yeah. Now we have Kevin Owens going against Roman Reigns this Friday in a steel cage match. So we'll see the feud continues. Yep. We'll see what happens going in. I mean, this can make a Royal Rumble matchup, and then that's how that works. And then Reigns has another opponent going into WrestleMania. That's normally how these things tend to work out. They have a stopgap guy that takes up 2 pay-per-views, Royal Rumble matchup, and then you have the next opponent for the championship at WrestleMania. But that did not end the show, which I think it kind of should have, but not really after what happened at the end of this match.
Yeah, well, you couldn't end it.
Yeah, you couldn't end it after what this happened here. So we had Randy Orton going against The Fiend, Bray Wyatt in a Firefly Inferno match. I'm going to go off straight off the gate. I'm going to give this a B-, right? And I'm going to give it a B- just because they took a risk. That's the only reason I'm giving it a B-, because I didn't really think the match was that good.
About this because the risk sucked to me.
But, I mean, I guess it all depends on how you look at it, but I'm taking a B- just because the effort they made and the risk they took. Now, it wasn't really a cinematic match. It was a normal matchup, except I was like wondering where like the flames were going to come from, because it didn't.
Yeah, because the first 5 minutes you were like, "There's no fire in this match."
Now it kind of. I thought it gave it away when Randy Orton came out and he wrestled in a hoodie and jeans. I thought that gave it away that he was gonna be the one to burn up. But the entire matchup, Bray Wyatt kept his jacket on. Yeah, so there's obviously a reason as to why he did. He had some type of protective gear underneath the bottom of it, probably some type of liquid or solution.
Heat prevention thing.
Yeah, on the jacket itself. Now the entire entire ring will be surrounded by fire. The entire arena, there would be poles with like, you know, circular fire wrapped around it.
Because why not?
Fire all over the place. This match was extremely dangerous for no reason. It was super dangerous. It didn't have to be for whatever reason. But at one point, you would have Bray Wyatt hit the mandible claw on Randy Orton. Randy Orton would push him back into the fire, and he would continue to hit the mandible claw on fire. So he was on fire for a while. Then he would go into the ring, be extinguished, kind of like the fire would kind of go out by itself. But that was pretty much the end of Bray Wyatt at that point. He was laying flat on the ground, motionless. Now here comes where the switcheroo comes in. They cut camera close to Randy's face and him going to get the lighter fluid on the outside, the gasoline. So this is probably when the switch happened. Obviously, nobody can actually see it happening because there are no live fans in the audience, and whoever's in the Thunderdome only sees what they want you to see. So obviously, the body double switch. Here comes Randy.
Douses body double.
Yeah, douses. You know, Bray Wyatt in the gasoline and literally lights his ass on fire and completely burns his face, everything. I mean, you literally killed a man.
He killed a man
on live television. Insanity ensued. What a way to end the show. Whether you think it was good or it's bad, maybe it's another rebirth for the Fiend. And I honestly think, though, you book yourself into a corner here, because if the Fiend comes back from this, how can he lose a normal match after that?
Yeah, I mean, because like he was set on fire.
Yeah.
Like he was Kane. Like it was crazy. Now this match was 3 moments. It was literally when the fire came on, when
the rocking chair part.
Not even. I'm not saying the rocking chair.
Like, the rocking chair part was pretty crazy because it was
pretty crazy. Because there was a lot of attempted murder in this match.
Yeah, because he literally doused the rocking chair in gasoline. Bray Wyatt did a trail of gasoline, sat Randy there and lit it.
All right.
Yeah,
I digress. 4 moments. Okay, it was that. It was the fire turning on. It was the Fiend being set on fire and taking an RKO and sitting there with fire on him. That was freaking awesome. I was like, holy shit, what's going on? But then they went a little too far with the terrible dummy work. I was like, it didn't look like the Fiend. His body was all weird and awkward and flat, and like just like they looked like, I don't know, it was a mess to me. And then you set a man on fire, and we're supposed to be like, all right, well, that's normal. Like, it's just, I know we're supposed to suspend disbelief, and Taker's been doing this for, 30 years or whatever, but
he's never literally been set on fire. He's been buried alive, thrown in caskets, ascended.
Yeah, but this is like the middle. They set a man on fire. We're supposed to be like, oh, well, he's gonna come back as the Human Torch.
It's not a normal fire. It's not a normal like fire. It's literally his entire body. He was burned alive. His entire body was engulfed in flames. Yeah,
like it wasn't like when Kane in the Inferno match where he's holding his hand and like going around like into the back, and okay, that you can survive. But this was like a man was knocked out after an RKO. Like 10 minutes later, he was still on the ground, knocked out after that RKO, and like he was set on fire. And like it was a dummy, we know, and it looked like a dummy, and it was bad. Whoever the prop guy was did a really bad job of it because it looked like shit. But it's like you said, they put themselves in a corner. Like Bray can never lose. Bray's like, or the Fiend is just I mean, maybe that's what they want, but it's so crazy. It's so extreme, and there's been extreme shit done in the past. Like they hung Big Boss Man once. From there's been crazy shit.
It's wild stuff like that. Yeah.
Where it's like I don't know if we needed it. I don't know if we needed it, and that's why this match to me, where I didn't want to give it a B- because it was like it's like so ridiculous. Like it's like I gotta suspend disbelief. I know, but god damn, that's a lot of suspending in disbelief.
Well, so many times in wrestling they've tried. Guys have literally tried to kill each other, but finally one actually succeeded in Randy Orton killing Bray Wyatt, because nobody survives that unless the supernatural being that Bray Wyatt is comes to back.
2020 took another life.
It's one crazy ass way to end the show. Now we've heard rumors that WWE's been asked by USA to be a little bit more edgier and a little more adult stuff on television. That's what they want.
The ratings are terrible.
Because the ratings are bad. So this could be that first step towards that, with something going down like this. Obviously, it's on the network. It's not on live TV. It's pretty crazy. Crazy ass way to end the show. But guys, that's a review and reaction to everything that happened at TLC. A wild pay per view with a wild out of the box, one hell of a risk WWE took with that ending. But guys, thank you guys for watching. Appreciate you. Remember to like, subscribe, comment, and all that good stuff on this video and on the channel. And without further ado, if it doesn't work, bro, not do the job.
Later, Marks.